car is good to go.
Spend enough time around Phoenix, Arizona, and you'll spot cars and vans cruising without anyone behind the wheel.
Arriving shortly.
But semi-trucks? They're the new frontier in driverless vehicles being tested right now.
How soon could it be before somebody looks up and doesn't see anybody in the driver's seat on one of these
Good question.
semis?
So we want to be fully self-driving within the next couple of years.
Boris Sofman is Waymo Via's head of engineering for trucking.
How many millions of miles of testing have you guys done so far?
Yeah, so on the car side, we've done over 20 million miles of physical driving and then 20 billion miles in simulation.
Is there a concern that humans are going to see no driver and freak out about a semi on the road?
Always something we think about. We were worried about the same thing on the car side.
So now for a little test drive.
We're going to do a test drive.
And even today, while humans like Bob Krebs are still technically behind the wheel,
here we go.
That acceleration that we're hearing, that's not Bob. That's
the truck.
That's the truck.
Yep.
Now, I know you do this a lot, but do you still kind of get nervous?
I don't get nervous because Bob's here. I trust Bob with my wife here, so I don't get nervous.
Right now, Google's self-driving company Waymo Via and several others are using safety drivers like Bob to supervise what are basically big rig robots. And if you look closely, you can see he's not always touching the wheel. Instead, the semi can navigate by itself using a guidance system of 28 cameras and a whole slew of radar sensors that map the immediate area and can peer over a half a mile down the road.
How many objects can this detect at one time?
When we've encountered dense intersections in an urban environment, for example, our cars will detect hundreds of objects all the time, pedestrians, cyclists, cars.
So with all these sensors and all these cameras, how much bad driving from humans have you guys picked up?
Enormous. It's shocking. That is the source of the deepest amount of challenge in the entire self-driving space, where you realize pretty quickly that you can be a good driver, and then you have to deal with all of the anomalies that the world throws at you.
Waymo says right now their biggest hurdle is planning for unpredictable human drivers. For Bob, it's about preventing the kinds of crashes he's seen after 40 years of trucking.
Oh yeah, I've come up on some really bad accidents, and most of those accidents are fatigue related, distracted, impaired. This truck is not going to be distracted. It's not going to experience road rage.
The technology comes as the country faces a growing shortage of more than 80,000 truck drivers, partially fueled by younger generations opting for other jobs closer to home, and wiser, tech-wary generations like Bob's eyeing retirement.
Right now, we're struggling with supply chain issues. We're also struggling with a shortage of drivers. Is this a solution?
Go look at any trucking company's website and see about all the job openings they have, or visit with a driver at the local truck stop and ask them how many phone calls they get a day, how many text messages, how many LinkedIn messages they get, or how much mail they get at home. And you'll see there's a tremendous driver shortage.
And what is that doing to the industry?
Well, obviously, when you have a shortage like that, there are goods that aren't moving in the most efficient way. So goods could move, get to the end destination quicker, more efficiently. And so, yes, we need more drivers.
I think it's kind of cool. They're taking a little bit of my knowledge, and it's kind of neat to see. I'll suggest something, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, it shows up and the truck's reacting the way that I would react.
And the truck is driving. Cool. Yeah, the truck's driving like you drive.
Yeah, it's driving like me. It's kind of, that's kind of cool.
So when you tell your grandkids about that, some of these trucks are going to be driving like you.
Yeah, part of Grandpop's in that truck. So that's kind of cool.
So wait, so you have a flip phone and yet you're driving one of the most technologically advanced vehicles on the road?
Yeah.
Does that seem
I try to keep things pretty simple,
For him, there is still nothing like the open road.
I have the best office window ever.
But says when he retires, someone's got to keep on trucking, even if that someone is a computer.
I strive to be a good driver, but I make mistakes. This truck's not going to make mistakes.
Gadi Schwartz, NBC News, Chandler, Arizona.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.